What should people seriously stop buying? Not a sexy or flashy response, but no one should be buying a boiler, furnace, or water heater below 90 efficiency. The 80 efficiency equipment is ancient technology and you are throwing your money away while also spewing more greenhouse gases. Well, this did leagues better than I anticipated. Many of you have pointed out instances where the 80 is an appropriate choice, whether it be flue issues, a steam system, or you don't have the fund for the 90 upfront. On top of this, I'll clarify that these upgrades should be made at the end of the boiler's life. It will almost never make financial sense to replace a functional appliance with a more efficient one, and the greenest equipment available is the one you already have. Heat pump crew, I'm with you, but currently, with us fuel mixes and electrical costs, there are very valid arguments against them. Everyone talking about how they have a 60-year-old boiler that runs like a tank. This is some serious survivor's bias. If they all worked that well, no one would have to replace old equipment and the industry would have died except for new construction. Tiny plastic garbage. I see TikToks of people unboxing like these mini plastic toys of name brand items. And they will have October 1st, 2024 of them all individually wrapped in multiple layers of packaging just to have tiny replicas of a bottle of Windex or Lay's potato chips.
Hey guys, much like you, I love reading people's stories on Ask Reddit. Unfortunately, there's a lot of weird middle school level, just thought experiment type hypotheticals like nice try Baskin Robbins. I don't find this compelling, so that's why I've made it my mission to trawl and crawl through Ask Reddit and find the very best content and put it in your ears. That's why I'm begging you, like and subscribe. If there's anything I can do to help you out, give you the kind of content that you crave to help you get through your workday, let me know in a comment. But please like and subscribe.
Fun fact about moms. When they ask you to sign up 10 people to move up to the next level, there's something they aren't telling you. If everyone has to sign up 10 people, in 16 cycles you run out of people on Earth. Edit. Some people have pointed out my maths is off and that it only takes 10 cycles, which is even worse. Glitter. Sparkles, glitter and sequins on everything, especially kids' items. You think it's hard to get that shit out of your house after craft time. It's microplastic, and it's going into our waterways and oceans. Yet the toy stores and clothing stores are adding more sequins and glitter every day. Makes me furious. Just stop buying it. I can't understand the people that buy holiday decor every single year. Are people buying fake trees and tossing them every year and needing a new one? Same with ornaments and whatnot. Obviously people move out of their parents or they need to replace ornaments if they're broken or something, but the amount in stores does not add up to me. Why so much new stuff every year? Microtransactions, especially in sports games. Cosmetics in a free-to-play game. I don't have a problem with that. Gotta make money somehow and it doesn't affect gameplay. Blatant gambling and pay-to-win functionality in games like NBA and Madden. Those can fuck right off. Well, the company made big by selling cancer-causing products, then covering it up, then turning around and keeping a lot of they collect as donations. It would be more accurate to say they knowingly promote versus sell carcinogenic products and activities such as fracking, which causes a rise in cancers that typically have environmental causes, such as breast cancer, and suppress new information about cancer-promoting chemicals like BPA. Since this blew up, I wanted to provide a bit of an update. I believe shark meat in general is very high in mercury, meaning eating a lot of it is very bad for you. The real reason though is that the fins are worth so much that taking up room with actual whole sharks just isn't cost effective. Thank you guys for all the further explanations. I've learned a lot from making this post. My dad used to be involved with them to the point where most of the stuff we ate and drank was Herbalife brand. Herbalife smoothies, bars, you name it. It was in the goddamn house. He stopped after one of their products gave my mom stomach ulcers that nearly landed her in the emergency room multiple times. Also, I'm pretty sure they got sued or something, but my mind is a bit fuzzy on that. Please uninstall Yelp off your phone. They are nothing more than extortionists that hold small businesses hostage to bad reviews, real or fake, doesn't matter. I can't express how shitty Yelp is as a company. Every time you open their app, you give them support. TLDR, fuck Yelp.
This year, like I said, I'm having a midlife crisis. I've started a YouTube channel and I'm on a big health kick. One thing that I found is very easy to eat, very easy to prepare, is I heat up chickpeas with chicken broth and tikka masala. And there are two schools of thought about how you should eat beans. Some people believe you should buy the dry beans and soak them, but I tried that and it was a disaster. So I buy canned beans every time. And if I'm opening like 2 cans a day to be on this diet, it is a massive pain in the ass if the can has this jagged metal edge. You know, I'm worried if like little bits of metal are getting into my food and going to slice up my intestines. So I found this special can opener that actually opens the can in a way that is completely safe, no metal's getting in your food, and is 1,000 times better than any other can opener I've ever used. So if you wind up, opening a lot of cans for whatever reason, maybe you've got a cat or something, you must buy this can opener from my affiliate link.
Does anyone else notice that those Herbalife smoothie places keep popping up all over, but they are so shady about it? They look like average mom and pop smoothie places with no Herbalife branding on the outside or anywhere inside, but then they start making your smoothie and bam, they pull out the Herbalife powder. Tried to quit for years. Finally succeeded by just changing my perspective on what quitting means. I decided to look at it as a punishment for myself rather than being for my health. Every time I wanted one, rather than thinking, no, I can't, it is bad for me, and am trying to quit, I would think, too bad, fuck boy, you don't get to have what you want anymore because you can't control yourself. They are banned in the US in face washes, body scrubs, toothpastes, and the like if they are not biodegradable. Unfortunately, there are still major markets this ban does not address. They are not technically banned in sandblasting products, cosmetic products that are left on the skin, detergents, and possibly many, many more types of products that are just so hard to track down. Plastic bottles. Just buy a water filter and fill up the same bottle. For people saying just drink tap water, I agree 100. I'm just saying there are a lot of people who only buy bottled water, drink it, throw it and buy another one. Ridiculously unnecessary. Those plastics are so difficult to recycle, if at all. Most just ends up in landfill anyway. Trying to convince them to buy a water filter is good middle ground. My Phil boasts about how eco-conscious he is, but still does what I said above. Drives me mental. I take issue with Japan in particular. It's a country obsessed with packaging. It seems like every other thing is wrapped in multiple layers of plastic. I once received a gift of strawberries, and I kid you not, it was encased in plastic. Each fruit was individually wrapped in clear plastic film and rested in a molded plastic tray, which in turn came in a rectangle hard plastic case. I was a middle-class kid attending a rich neighborhood high school. Instead of cleaning out their lockers, my classmates would just leave all their shit behind. My poor fellows and I used to call our end-of-year scavenging vulturing. I had all next year's school supplies assembled in mid-June, and I swear I still have some of those pens and binders and locker mirrors hanging around that I salvaged 30 years ago. I'm an undertaker that just got home from a long day. In tired amp, want to play video games. I usually keep on scrolling when I encounter one of these posts, but for once I think I have enough energy left for a long-winded one. Sealer caskets are usually not necessary. Sometimes it's required if you're being entombed in a crypt, in a mausoleum, being shipped by airline back home, or having a service where the changes that take hold of us after we pass have very much taken hold of you. Having an expensive casket with silky insides is never necessary. It's all well good to say just bury me in a blanket in the hole, toss me in the ocean, trash, do sky burial, build a pyre, etc. But sadly there tend to be regulations about these things. Donating to science hardly ever happens, because when we're dead, we're usually old. When we're old, our organs are too. They don't tend to be viable. The only part of you likely to be harvested is your corneas. Composting is still ways off from being a typical option. So is alkaline hydrolysis, which is interesting. Anyway, for more information on who decides what after you die about undertaking, please read this excerpt from The Undertaking, a book they thankfully make us read in Mortuary College, by poet Undertaker Thomas Lynch, who was a mentor to me though we've never even met. The central theme is this: once you are dead, put your feet up, call it a day, and let the old man or the missus or the thankless kids decide whether you are to be buried or burned or blown out of a cannon or left to dry out in a ditch. It's not your day to watch it, because the dead don't care. I know a lady that's super into doTERRA and claims it cured her kids' skin issues so she can sell more. Her husband said a doctor prescribed the kid cream which he applied, and that was what took care of the problem. It's just a whole heap of baloney. She brings it up in every conversation. It's so cringe and cult-like. Good friend of mine got into, and she makes these deep thought posts on about flowers and coffee and whatever else, and then ends with the scent she's currently inhaling. I wanted to be supported, so I ordered some stuffs and my credit card company refused to process the transaction. It depends on the size of the sheet. Me Buster's got a massive sheet of paper folded in half 11 times. To get a sheet of paper large enough to fold 51 times, it would have to be as large as the entire solar system including Pluto's orbit. There isn't enough wood pulp on Earth to create a sheet that size, even if all the recycled paper in the world were used.
I turned 36 this year, and I decided to focus on my physical fitness, so I bought a swim club membership. The only problem was, most of the time when I go swimming, I wind up getting an ear infection. So it turns out that normal earplugs, they kind of irritate your ear canal, they don't really work, they don't keep the water out, but there is an amazing kind of earplug. It's called Mack's Pillow Soft Silicone earplugs that, they feel great, they keep the water out 100%, they're reusable, and they don't irritate your ear canal at all, no issues. If you've ever had a severe ear infection, you don't want to experience that again. It can permanently damage your hearing if you're unlucky. So investing in these earplugs is definitely a good idea. Also, when my baby was crying later this year and I could not get to sleep, I used the same earplugs and they worked great. I was able to sleep right next to a crying baby. So be sure to click my affiliate link and purchase some of these Mack's earplugs today.
Literally just happened to me. There's a small, cute smoothie place near where I work that I've been wanting to try. They posted on social media that they have an app, and I thought, a small place like this has their own app. Nope, the QR code took me to the Herbalife app. When I was in 5th grade, my art teacher told our class that glitter is just little pieces of metal, so when we use it in art class we have to be very careful, because if we accidentally got it in someone's eye or something, we could be charged with assault with a deadly weapon. I'm in my October 1st, 2024 now, and it recently dawned on me that she was probably just really sick of picking up glitter all day. Even though it's an insane thing to say to a group of 10-year-olds, I get it, and I'm actually really amused by that lie. Picking up glitter is flippin' obnoxious. Cricket just tried to pull this stunt. To use their required software to run the machine, they were going to start requiring a subscription fee even if you were using your own personal vectors that you designed. There was a huge blowback and they ended up rescinding it for now. Only if you're in the US though. Similar pink breast cancer awareness and fundraising items in Canada and elsewhere are actually donated to vetted cancer societies, and if their donations don't go to research, they go to supporting the quality of life for people who are undergoing treatment. Similarly, the Salvation Army in the US is notorious for being vehemently homophobic and turning LGBT people out onto the street rather than help them, so people are discouraged from donating to their causes around Christmas. But that isn't the case in Canada. The Canadian Salvation Army is forbidden by law from that discrimination, so you can happily give your change to those Santas at the mall and know they aren't trying to kill gay homeless people. Here comes the Defense Brigade for the Coleman racket and whatever Christian charities, I guess lol. I got my Keurig from Costco, which came with the Keurig brand reusable K-Cups, so I've been using that. I noticed what you're describing about the coffee being weaker or gritty in the beginning when I first started using the reusable K-Cup. I buy bulk coffee and ground them at the store. I've always used the medium fine grind setting, but have found out that using a reusable K-Cup with that setting will net me a shitty cup of joe. So I turned the grinder knob to the finest grind setting, which is the Turkish setting. It makes a world of difference.
Did you know that when you drink tea from a tea bag, especially a cheap tea bag, you are exposing yourself to microplastics greater in quantity than from any other source? Microplastics are the number one health risk of our generation, and they will have unknown consequences on future generations. So, if you value your health, destroy your tea bags. But that doesn't mean you can't enjoy great tea. I'm going to post affiliate links for my own homebrew loose leaf tea concoction that I drink every single day. It has no microplastics, and it honestly tastes better than tea from a tea bag ever did. So be sure to click the links below and get on the loose leaf tea train to avoid poisoning yourself and your children.